But hey everyone, it's Nurse Axe back with another video. Woo woo! Finally, it's been like all of 3 months, which is insane. I need to do better. But this video, I wanted to give you all a 1 year update on my L&D nursing experience. So I've been a labor and delivery nurse for 1 year now, and whew, boy, have I learned a lot. So if you are interested, then stay tuned. So first thing, as a labor and delivery nurse, one thing I realized is that it's very different attending a delivery as a nurse than it would be as a support person. And I realized this after I attended my sister's delivery. I saw my niece born at my job, but I wasn't working. I only came there as her sister and as a support person. And I realized like how much more I was able to actually enjoy the delivery as a support person. And I say all that to say, I still enjoy attending deliveries as a nurse, but you don't really get to enjoy it for as long of a time as you would as a support person because you're working and there are things that have to get done and it's your job to make sure everything runs smoothly. So that's just something to think about if you're interested in a labor and delivery nurse. Just realize that it's not going to be like, oh, butterflies, like, oh, you're going to be able to cuddle the baby, just, be with the family, just enjoy everything. Yes, but that's like for a hot second and then you have to get back to work. So number two is something that's extremely important, and that is patient advocacy. So in nursing school, I feel like they touch on this quite a bit on, as a nurse, your job is to advocate for your patient. However, I didn't really appreciate that so much until I actually started working as a nurse and I kind of learned these lessons on my own. It's very easy, especially as a new nurse graduate, to kind of assume that people that have been there longer than you or that providers, that their judgment is the best. You are with that patient for 12 hours plus, so you really are able to see what's going on with the patient, and you're ultimately the provider's eyes and ears. So it's your job to communicate what's going on in a accurate and time-sensitive manner to the provider. Especially if the provider is in the room, for example, I think it's easy for you to think, oh, they're aware of what's going on with the patient right now. If they wanted to do something about it, they would have done it by now. But that's not the situation at all. You need to understand that sometimes the provider might not be attentive to all the details, and that's your job. And if you notice that something's happening, for example, the baby's decelling, the baby keeps on decelling, you need to vocalize that and say, this is what's happening, and then recommend something like, do you want me to do X, Y, and Z? Do you want me to, do this, do that? Because that's your job as their nurse. Same goes with other nurses that you work alongside. Of course, you want to, ask for a second opinion, but if you feel like the second opinion isn't the most appropriate response, then get another opinion, and always trust your nursing judgment. Obviously, you might not have as much experience, but if you feel like not comfortable with something, or uncomfortable with kind of leaving things as they are, you feel like more should be done, then you should use the chain of command and get the appropriate response that way. So that kind of leads me to the next thing, which is to, as a new nurse especially, and in this first year, I just had to really give myself a break. Whenever things did, kind of go not as I had intended them to. And to realize that we all make mistakes, we're human, and that's okay, because the fact of the matter is, most of the times when I did make mistakes is because I didn't know any better. And if you don't know better, you can't do better. And in the future, you're gonna apply the lessons you learned from that first mistake so you don't make it again. Fourth thing, my work schedule is phenomenal. I only work 3 days a week, and if I want to pick up extra hours, I have the leisure to, but I am able to really finesse my schedule so I can work like 3 days of the first week and then 3 days of the second week, so I have like a long break in between, which is really nice. So I'm able to travel if I want to. I'm able to get, other outside work done, and it really just makes for a good work and life balance. So the schedule is A1. I work 12-hour shifts 3 nights a week. And I did make a video on how I survive night shift. There's pros and cons, but the money is really good, so that's why I'm sticking to it. The last thing I've kind of reflected on in this year is that I absolutely want to go back to school, to graduate school. And that's more so to learn kind of like the why behind things that, you know, I do as a nurse, or even what's going on with my patient. Of course, you know, I've learned about what's common and like what to expect, but I'm not really able to understand the pathophysiology or the physiology as to why it does occur. So that's something that I've really kind of been missing out on, and that I'm sure the only way I could really understand that is if I go back to school. And that concludes this video. So if you all have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below in the comments. I do plan on making more consistent videos on my channel, so stay tuned for that. But if you have any requests at all, I would love to hear from you all. So I guess I will see you on the next one. Bye.